One word. That is all it took. One single, cutting word delivered with the kind of withering precision that only one man in British media seems capable of, and once again, Piers Morgan left the internet absolutely divided. If you thought the era of jaw-dropping, must-watch television clashes was behind us, think again. Because the former Good Morning Britain heavyweight has done it once more, and this time the target was Zack Polanski, the newly elected leader of the Green Party, and the fallout has been nothing short of extraordinary. On the 9th of October, 2025, Polanski appeared on Morgan's hugely popular YouTube show, Piers Morgan Uncensored, in what many are now calling one of the most combustible political interviews of the year. And for anyone who has followed Morgan's career, from his explosive years behind the Good Morning Britain desk to his current reign as YouTube's most provocative political interviewer, you will know that walking into that studio is never a comfortable experience for any guest. But Polanski? He didn't just walk in. He walked in swinging. To understand why this interview ignited such a firestorm, a little context goes a long way. Piers Morgan co-presented Good Morning Britain on ITV from 2015 to 2021 alongside Susanna Reid, building a reputation as one of British television's most confrontational and compulsively watchable broadcasters. After his dramatic and much-publicized exit from GMB, he eventually moved his show entirely to YouTube, where freedom from the restrictions of traditional broadcasting has allowed him to be more combative than ever. Since September 2025, a weekly highlights show drawn from his YouTube episodes has also been airing on Channel 5, cementing his continued and undeniable relevance in the British media landscape. Zack Polanski, meanwhile, has quickly become one of the most talked-about rising voices in British politics. As the fresh and outspoken new leader of the Green Party, he arrived at the interview brimming with confidence, and he would need every last drop of it. The conversation took a sharp turn when Morgan steered the discussion firmly towards trans rights, pointedly asking Polanski the question he has put to many politicians before. Can a woman have a penis? Polanski answered without hesitation, with a direct yes, adding with characteristic wit that getting rid of one on the NHS would take quite some time anyway. It was sharp. It was funny. But Morgan was absolutely not done. As Morgan pressed on and repeated the question, Polanski pushed back hard, telling him plainly, "I think you're lacking nuance and complexity about a pretty complicated conversation." When Morgan insisted he was simply asking a straightforward question, Polanski fired straight back, "But you're laughing at it, which I think demeans trans people." The atmosphere crackled. The gloves were well and truly off. Then came the moment that sent social media into an absolute tailspin. Morgan turned the tables and challenged Polanski directly, asking with barely concealed disbelief whether the Green Party leader thought he knew better than the Supreme Court on the matter. Without even flinching, Polanski looked him dead in the eye and replied, "Well, yes, actually. Yes, I do." And it was right there, in that electric jaw-dropping moment, that Morgan delivered his devastating one-word verdict on Polanski's entire position. A single dismissal so loaded with contempt, so perfectly timed, and so brutally effective that it instantly became the clip everyone was sharing, screenshotting, and furiously debating online. The reactions were immediate and fiercely split down the middle. Supporters of Polanski flooded social media to praise his composure under pressure, with many calling him a rare breed of politician who simply refuses to be rattled. Fans of the Green Party leader argued passionately that he had more than held his own against one of Britain's most seasoned and ruthless interviewers. On the other side of the fence, Morgan's supporters cheered what they saw as yet another masterclass in holding politicians to account, pointing to Polanski's Supreme Court comment as clear evidence that the Green leader had badly overreached and left himself wide open. What does this moment tell us about where British political media is heading? Morgan's YouTube operation is growing increasingly powerful and influential, blurring the boundary between entertainment and serious political interrogation, and this interview is a textbook example of that shift in action. Morgan has never shied away from challenging trans rights advocates on his platform, and his willingness to press political leaders on the most divisive topics of the day, however provocatively, continues to generate the kind of viral attention that traditional morning television can rarely manufacture anymore. For Polanski, the interview was both a test and a genuine opportunity. Whether viewers felt he triumphed or stumbled depends entirely on which side of this deeply charged debate they stand. But one thing is beyond dispute: he did not crumble. He arrived as a political leader making a statement, and he left having made an extremely loud one. This is exactly the kind of raw, unscripted collision that made Piers Morgan must-watch television during his Good Morning Britain years, and it is precisely what keeps hundreds of thousands of people tuning into his YouTube channel today. The format may have changed, The firepower most certainly has not. So, who do you think came out on top? Was Morgan's one brutal word a moment of pure television genius, or did Polanski do what politicians so rarely manage, and genuinely hold his ground against the odds? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because this one has clearly got absolutely everyone talking. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. It genuinely helps the channel more than you know. And make sure you subscribe so you never miss another story like this one. We will see you in the next one.